Hello there guys, and welcome back to once again another video here on the Speed Force Racing YouTube channel. Today we're going to be having Division 3 round 9 of season 16, if I am not mistaken, here today around Zandvoort. And the funny thing is, we were racing in the actual F1 around Zandvoort as well last weekend. Today it is going to be Monday. We're going to be waiting for everyone to come on track to put their qualifying lap on the board. There's 18 minutes in this short qualifying session, and afterwards we will be having 36 laps around the Zandvoort Grand Prix, if I'm not mistaken. Good evening, Garrett in the chat. How are you doing? Let's go on board with Mitrandiris. He's the first one out on track in that Haas car. And usually during the qualifying, we take the chance to look at the Drivers' Championship and also the Constructors' Championship, as that will give us a clear view on what the standings will be after the race as well. Division 3 right now, Burley is in the lead with 171 points. In P2 we have got the V-Car with 152 points, and afterwards we have got Dorn in P3 with 124 points. So there's quite a big gap in between P1 and P3 for about 47 points. The V-Car is somewhere in the middle of both. And we've got Billy G in P4 for that Red Bull car with 115 points, and Gox in P5 with 98. Quite a surprising result there by Cox. Oh my days. Gox, usually he starts from the back of the grid. This time around he isn't even in the lobby, as it seems like. There's only one Aston Martin car, and that will be Energy Dan, as he's reserving for Gogs most likely. Feels strange not reserving. Haha, Mad G, by the way. Yo, Mad G. How are you doing, buddy? Yeah, I mean, I don't think they allowed you to reserve anymore because it wasn't fun anymore, was it? Let's go Team Ferrari, says Oliver Smith in the chat. I feel like he's a bit biased because there's two girls in the Ferrari team there. So Oliver, you gotta also support the man, dude. You gotta support the guys around us, you know? No, actually, that doesn't matter too much. Let me just, Keeves in the chat. Let's go, Dorn. Yo, Keeves, how are you doing? A long time no talk. Mitran there currently in a fast one, as he's got that McLaren car right in front of him. Might get a little slipstream from him down the straight. He's got the fastest second sector, obviously, because he's the first one who has actually tackled that that second sector. I think he's got a little bit of downforce issues here with the dirty air because of the car in front of him. Garrett in the chat supporting the Alpine car, so we've got a couple of guys supporting Ferrari. We've got a couple of guys supporting Alpine there with Mr. Wiggles, and the V car that is obviously the admin team here in Division 3. Silver Fox coming across the line with a 111. We've got another couple of guys, but the one to look at is Chris Big Pro. He has put himself on pole position last time in Miami. Here comes the Mercedes driver, puts himself only in P3. Both the Haas drivers are in front of him. I'm going to go on board with the V-Car. He's also a very fast driver, currently entering Sector 3. Well, first has to come around this turn 10. As I'm going to take the opportunity to name all the corners, as they're all in Dutch and I speak Dutch myself. So I'm just going to get the corners real quick. Zandvoort, corners. Here comes the V-Car in the last corner, down the straight. DRS wide open. And that will be a decent time. It will only be a P9 with a 111.4. About 1.2 seconds behind Burley, who's currently in P1. Chris Big Pro got pushed back to P5. Simo on a fast lap. She's got her very own teammate behind her. Did she get a little toe down the straight? Doesn't look like it. Currently heading to the Arie Luijendijk bocht. That is, of course, that last corner here, that bankered corner around Zandvoort. Here comes Simo, and she's putting herself in P16. Not the result she was hoping for, but I'm pretty sure she's going to be able to do better. What is Alex Hogg going to do? Fastest first sector for the Visa Ketchup Red Bull driver. got that Gixauer driver ahead of him, who doesn't seem to be going too fast right now. A little lockup coming into turn 7, I think that must be. Now down into the Hans Ernest bocht, and then we've got the Arie Luijendijk bocht, of course. Well, first he needs to get past the Kumho bocht, as that is turn 13, and this is the Arie Luijendijk bocht. Then down the straight, then we're heading into the Tarzan bocht, which is turn 1, of course. Turn 2 is going to be Gerlach bocht. And then you have to watch out for that bankered corner. Turn 3, Hugenholzbocht. Try to take a very tight line coming through the corner there. And now down the straight he goes. Hunzerug, Rob Slatermakerbocht. And then of course bocht 6, Schijflak, Masterbocht. And bocht 9, as that will be a lap around Zandvoort, as I think Alex Hawk already came across the line. I don't think he's on one at the moment. He's also invalidated there, so there's no point in me showing this. Let's go on board with Halver, as I think he's on a fast one. Didn't improve. Energy Dan for the win, according to Martin. I think that is a very good guess. Where's Energy Dan right now? P17. That will be a... you know what the thing is. You know, Energy Dan, he's fast. But I feel like he could... I don't think he's gonna be able to compete with the top guys here. Burley and Big Pro, Doran, all those guys are pretty fast. If I remember quite well, Energy Dan used to battle with Doran quite often in Division 2 last season, didn't he? The VCare on a fast one. No, he's not on a fast one. He's 11 seconds down on his time. Oh, but Big Pro is on a fast one. Will be hard as he has to retire. Haha. Yes, indeed, Magi. It's Chris Pro. Will it be an improvement? Doesn't seem like it's 63 tenths down on his time. But that Mercedes car, I'm going to keep repeating myself. That Mercedes car looks like one of the best cars on the grid. Livery-wise, that is a beauty of a car. I feel like the liveries this year are a little bit disappointing. Oh, I did love that Wolverine/Deadpool livery of Alpine, which they ran in. I think it was... where did they run it? Was it Singapore? No, the Singapore Grand Prix isn't done yet. Or is it? No, it isn't done yet. No, it is. Is it? No, it isn't done yet. What? Where did they run that Deadpool Wolverine livery? Guess I gotta Google that. Here comes Chris Pro. Does improve in his time by 1/10 as he puts himself in P4 so far. Still 9 more minutes in this qualifying session, so still plenty of time. Ellie seems to be on a fast one. An interesting corner decision there from Elias. She's going a bit deeper into the... oh, mate. These corner names are doing my head in. The Hugenholzbocht. Was it in Miami? It could have been Miami. It could have been Miami. I thought it was a dark. Oh, it was it Belgium? I was thinking Belgium as well. I think it was Belgium. I really thought it was a dark thingy. Oh man, it's lovely that they do it in Belgium. I don't even know why in Belgium, because there's no special thing about Belgium. I guess the movie got dropped when, got released when the Belgian Grand Prix was. Here comes Ellie. Ellie. That's not the corner you should take. It's, she does improve on her time. Just gets the corner, goes onto the grass, but still gains time. Ah, man, people are proving me wrong every day, and I don't like it. Mr. Wiggles on a fast lap, 85 thousandths down on his time. Does need to improve by a couple of tenths more to be able to gain a position. Currently in P6, 4 tenths behind Doran. Oh, beautiful corner taken there by Mr. Wiggles. Takes a lot of curb. As I feel like here around Zandvoort, you do need to touch the curb every now and then. Goes too deep there. Very interesting line from Mr. Wiggles. I don't think that'll gain him any time. Down the straight he goes, back into the pits, as he knew he wasn't improving by any millisecond. Here comes Billy G. Can we have the telemetry for the quali piece? Sure. I usually don't use that because I think it looks awful, but sure, if you guys request it. Billy G up in his time, about 11 thousandths at the moment. Goes too deep, takes a lot of curb. How is that not an invalidation? I have no idea. Is he going to be up on his time? DRS wide open for the Red Bull driver. He still has a lot of ERS saved, so he doesn't seem to be in a fast one. He's going to go for one right now. Down the straight he goes into turn one. Hard braking zone, a long right-hander. Touching the curb as much as possible there. Good exit early on the throttle. Into turn two, into turn three, taking a lot of curb. Beautifully done by Billy G. Into turn four, a little bit deeper than I would have gone. But that can carry you more speed coming down this little swirly straight. A bit of traffic up ahead. Oh, and he's going to back out of it. Look at that. Saves another ERS tank, and not fully sure why he's done that. Let me double check on what tires he is. 2 lap soft tires, so he hasn't gone onto a fast one so far. John Mopes, a little bit slower there. That was that McLaren car. We might want to go on board with Halvor. He is up on his time, about 4.5 tenths at the moment. Here comes Halvor down the straight, and it will be an improvement by 7 tenths. Look at that time, a 110.8. It's him right in front of Mr. Wiggles. And it seems like a lot of guys are currently in the pits trying to analyze when the best time is to come out again. Because it could be that, you know, you come into the pits, there's about 6 more minutes on the timetable. Do you go out, go for a fast lap and go in again? To go out again, go on a fast lap and then finish the qualifying? I don't think there's enough time for that. Although a lap here around Zandvoort doesn't take too much time, so I think it's definitely possible, but it's risky. It's risky. And it seems like Chris, Big Pro, and Dorn are going to take their chances and do it anyway. As Big Pro currently coming out of the lap. Oh, he's already starting one. And he does improve in his time. Wait, I thought it was on an out lap. Yeah, he was on an out lap. Never mind. Early on the throttle there. He's draining a bit of ERS. I think he also... Why did he use all of the ERS down the straight there? Because I think he can save a little more ERS here. You can use a little more ERS here down the straight. Right now he's got about 36%, 35%. That won't be enough for that long straight coming out of turn 10. The fast right-hander doesn't take too much curb. Possibly a couple of hundreds lost there. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful line from Chris. Look at that. There's about 20% left in the tank. DRS wide open for the Mercedes driver. Apparently, we've also got a couple of Billy fans in the chat, so I'll have a look with the Red Bull driver later. As I think he just started the fast one. Here comes Chris into the Arie Luijendijk bocht. Takes a lot of curb. A bit like Ellie and Mr. Wiggles did earlier. Does improve in his time, about 900s. Goes up into P3 and needs about another 3 tenths to be able to compete with Mitrandir. But Mitrandir, what a qualifying lap from him, hey. Look at that, a 110.0. As he wasn't up there with top 3 last week, if I'm not mistaken. Dorn right now also up in his time, about 3 tenths, so that will put him ahead of both the Mercedes drivers. Down the straight he goes. Here comes Dorn. Oh, does improve and puts himself even ahead of Burley there. A 110.1 for Dorn himself. 3 more minutes in this qualifying session. I am going to have a look with maybe not Burley, maybe Stank. No, Stank isn't on a fast one either. Let me double check. Where is Mitrandir on track? He is behind Burley. So let's focus on Burley here real quick. Gonna take a quick sip of water, and then we're gonna go for a fast one with one of the fastest guys on the grid here today. When around the last corner goes Burley. There's about 14 corners here in Zandvoort. And Jim Clark has won. Jim Clark, I think that's his name. Jim Clark has won the most Grand Prix here in Zandvoort. And apparently in the chat, they are predicting an OWR pole position tonight. I think the chances are quite high. OWR, Mitrandir currently leading. Doran comes about 11,000 short to grab that pole position. Burley is definitely going to be competing with his very own teammate at the front of the pack. Is not improving, 1.3 seconds down on his time. Might want to go on board with Mitrandir, and he is improving. He is improving, or was that on his previous outlap in Sector 3 there? I don't know why it still shows me that he's up on his time by about 2/10. Ooh, he's down on his time, 78 thousandths at the moment. Here comes Mitrandir. I think Sector 2 and Sector 3 are a little bit better for the Norwegian driver. As a 110.0 is definitely hard to beat. Stjank, I think, just came across the line. No, it's Mr. Wiggles putting himself in P6 so far. A lot of guys still in the pit lane. They're not going to be in time to come out on track again. Mitrandir improving in Sector 3. By about 3 thousandths on his overall lap. Here comes Mitrandir. Into the last corner he goes. Will he take pole position? Well, he's already got pole position, but he can put an exclamation mark on that pole time. Here comes the Norwegian driver. Will he be pole time? Doesn't look like it. Well, I mean, it looks like pole time, but he doesn't improve in his time at the moment. Burley is still up on his time. Is he, though? He is up on his time. 1:10 so far. And that will be pole time. Can he keep the streak going in Sector 2 and Sector 3? As possibly a bit too few battery left in the tank. Although he's saving a lot coming through turn 10 there. Has about 30% going into Sector 3. 25, 20 maybe. Did improve in Sector 2 as well. 1.4 tenths up on his time. And that will put himself as the only one with 1.9 here around Zandvoort. The 1.9 is definitely a hard time to beat for the guys on track at the moment. Here comes Burley. DRS wide open. Is about 2% left. Oh, and he lost a lot of time there because he didn't have any DRS left. Look at that. Burley isn't going to be improving. It was looking great for the... Oh, here comes Stjank right now with a 1:10.0. And Chris Big Pro is also up in his time. Will it be... Oh, he invalidated. Heading into Sector 3, he invalidated on his time. The only one who was still going to be able to beat Stjank was Chris Big Pro. I don't think Brep because... Mate, I swear to God, sometimes these names make me crazy. I don't think Brep has got it in himself. He's got a Haas driver behind him, but that is Burley. No improvement. Maybe Billy G. Is he going to be up on his time? Doesn't look like it. About 36 thousandths down. Here comes the Red Bull driver. Still has a lot of ERS saved. Will he drain everything down the straight here? Looks like it. Looks like it. Billy G up on his time by about a 10, but didn't gain a position with that improvement. And that will be the qualifying here around Zandvoort. Stjank takes the pole here in the Netherlands with a 1:10.062. Mitrandir not too far behind him, about 28 thousandths, and then you've got Doran in P3 with about 39 thousandths. We're still waiting for Prep to come back into the pits. I am always wondering why drivers are not just coming across the line, because they're coming into the pits, but it takes so much time to put their car in the pit lane. Right now, the quali is going to end, but it could have ended about 30 seconds ago already. Alright, here we've got the results of tonight's Stank in P1, Mitrandir in P2, and then we've got Dorn in P3. Beautiful qualifying session here from the top 3, but also not to forget, Burley is not too far behind. Apart from that, we've got Chris, a big pro in P5, Mr. Wiggles in P6, Ellie with a surprising P7 for the Ferrari team, Billy G in P8, Halvor in P9, and Prep in P10. Further, we've got Alex Hawk, the V-Car, John, Silverstone, Cowboy, Simo, and Energy Dan, who wasn't allowed to do a qualifying session. About 2.7 seconds between pole time and P16. But we've got about 12 drivers within 1 second off pole time, so it's definitely going to be a great, spectacular race here in Zandvoort. Hopefully a little more interesting than the race this weekend, with Lando Norris winning the Grand Prix with more than 20 seconds and also putting the fastest lap on the hard tires. I don't think that's going to be the case here today. Seems a little bit cloudy, and Zandvoort obviously a track right next to the sea. So it's going to be a heavy storm if it starts to rain. But it is always a little bit cloudy here in the Netherlands and Belgium. So we never know what to expect this time around here in the game. The game decided that it is going to be looking cloudy. Does that mean we're going to have rain? Maybe someone in the chat can let me know who is actually racing. I know Energy Dan watches the stream every now and then, but I'm not sure if he's right now. As I'm just going to take a quick look with the Constructors' Championship. As it seems like the Haas team is leading the Constructors' Championship. But because their very own Division 1 and Division 2 Haas team are not doing very well, they are dropping back all the way to P. This is horrible. Why are they... yeah. Sonic, I know you're listening, right? Can you put in the A column of the combined standings, like the combined standings? Can you put the thingies? Oh, it's dry all race apparently. Thank you very much, Mansell. Can you put the numbers? Because right now I'm looking at Red Bull, right? But when I then look at Haas, it's obviously it's 7th position, but it's hard for me to check when there's no numbers, because right next to it says 11. But obviously it isn't 11, it's 7, so it makes it a little bit easier for me to do so. Apart from that, we've got a very close battle between Alpine and Red Bull. The Mercedes team is also doing pretty decent, 151 points, but they're not in the top 4. That is going to be Ferrari together with the other 3 teams, Red Bull, Alpine, and Haas. The Ferrari and Mercedes only have a gap of about 2 points. And then we also got a very close battle between Visa, Red Bull, and Aston Martin, which is going to be a gap of 4 points right now. According to the guys in the chat, there is 40% chance of rain. No, snow. Snow. But I think chances of having snow in the middle of August, at the end of August, is what I should say, are rather higher than 40%. The lap data on. Let's see what tires everyone has chosen. Stank has gone onto the medium tires. Usually we don't tend to see guys at the front of the pack go for softer tires, but Mitrandir thought otherwise. He went onto the soft tires. Then we've got all the way from P3 to P7 guys on the medium tires, and of course Ellie on the medium tires as well. Billy G on the hard tires, Halvor on the soft tires, and then we've got Prep, Alex Hogg, the V-Car, and Sean Moos from P10 to P13 on the medium tires. Silver Fox and Cowboy are looking to gain a lot of positions during that start. It's not a very long straight before the first corner, so I'm not sure if those softs are definitely going to do something. Maybe around the outside will be a good opportunity in turn 1. As usually there are a couple of guys who crash into each other very tight into that turn 1 corner. And we've got Simo and Energy Dan at the back of the grid on the medium tires. I'm really wondering what the strategy will be for these guys. Billy G being the only one on the hard tires, as he's going to try and stretch those for a very long time here around Zandvoort, possibly waiting for a late safety car, as I think in that case the hard tires will do very good. But if we don't have any safety car at the end of the race, I don't think they'll be doing very great. The guys putting themselves on the grid right now. And hopefully nobody is going to have a disqualification. But the chances of that happening is very very slim. Kick Sauber once again around that halfway mark in the standings. I mean, in the results of the qualifying, P9 and P10 out of 17 people. The Red Bull team doing a pretty good job. Also, Haas and Mercedes doing a pretty good job. As Martin in the chat predicts 2 safety cars and 2 VSCs. That can definitely be the case here around Zandvoort. Everyone is on the grid. We are currently racing in Speed Force Racing League Season 16, round 9 of the Zandvoort Grand Prix. It's 5 red lights, and away we go. Stank around the outside. Oh, and a very bad start there from Mitran Deer. Is the Red Bull driver going to go alongside him? No, it doesn't look like it. Burley now is down the inside of Doran. Wiggles also gains the position on Big Chris Pro. As Big Chris Pro gets that position back up around the outside of Doran there. And he will have a better exit. Although he's got that annoying Haas driver ahead of him. Doran loses another position, lost 2 in total. Burley and Chris got both past the Red Bull driver. Because I'm pretty sure Doran is not going to be pleased with that. Here at the back of the grid, we are looking at 2 positions gained for John Mobos. And also Simo gained 2 positions, coming from P16 to P14. I want to go back to the front of the pack as Mitran Deer is trying to find his way around Stank, especially being on those soft tires. I was really surprised that he had such a bad start, because usually starting on the soft tires you would have a better start than the guys on the medium tires. Oh, Chris going a bit deep there into turn 12. Into the chicane is what I should say. Prep now on the tail of Billy G. Billy G lost the position to the other Kick Sauber driver, and it seems like he's looking to lose another one. Mitran Deer has left the session. He is not in the session anymore, which means he's going to get overtaken by a couple of guys. Here comes Prep down the inside of Billy G, and it makes the overtake on the Red Bull driver. So Billy G is going to be dreaming about Kick Sauber drivers tonight. Mitran Deer losing another position to Chris. Now 1 to Doran and 1 to Mr. Wiggles. This is obviously not great for Mitran Deer. Let's go on board with the back of the pack here. Alex Hawk on the tail of the V-car, but the V-car looking to make an overtake on John Mobos. Has a lot of ERS saved in the tank. Medium tires for the Alpine car. As the V-car, he has been here for a long time already. Takes a lot of curb. Loses the toe of the McLaren driver ahead of him a little bit. Chooses for a different strategy coming into turn 8. Tight line coming through turn 11. Down the straight he goes, catching a little bit of slipstream. And I think next lap we will be able to enable the DRS. Oh, look at that. Look at that. The V-car. Is he going to make a switchback work? Doesn't look like it. Does have a pretty decent exit. Takes a lot of curb there coming out of turn 12. As John seems to be looking up every now and then. The V-car will have the DRS coming out of the bankered corner. Here comes the V-car. Makes the overtake on John Mopes. And that will be a job done for the V-car. Let's go on board with the front of the pack again. We're going alongside people here. Prep making the overtake. As Mitran Deer seems to be back in the lobby. Can he take control over his car? Silver Fox at the moment in P15. Dropped to position 1 on Simo. And Energy Dan doesn't seem like he's really fighting through the grid. As he's got a bit of traffic up ahead. Not up in his time either. Let's go on board with Chris Big Pro. As we still have about a 5 driver group here who have the DRS off each other, except for Stank, of course, because he's leading the race. Here comes Chris. Will he be thrown down the inside? Yes, he will. And it seems like the Haas driver was really closing in there. Chris now. Ooh, that was a late change of direction for Chris. As I think Doran got caught off guard there coming through turn 12. And down the straight they go. DRS wide open for Chris. And Burley also has the DRS, so no worries about that. Wiggles also with the DRS. No overtaking opportunities into turn 1. Everyone has got DRS on each other. And Stank was a little bit too far ahead. Let's go on board with the guys here at the back of the pack. Alex Hawk, they're going 3 wide into turn 1. Oh, and there goes Billy G. As he touched the rear of the Visa Ketchup Red Bull driver. Alex Hawk makes up a position. John Mopes also gains a position so far as Billy G loses 5. This is not great for the Red Bull driver. Let's go on board with Doran once again. Billy G's teammate. He needs to bring the Red Bull team proud here around Zandvoort. As of course, this is Max Verstappen's home Grand Prix. So they gotta do that Red Bull car proud, don't they? I'm really wondering who's driving with the 33. Well, the one. It doesn't seem to be Dorn. Let's have a quick look here with Billy G. Is he racing with that number 1 car? Seems like it. John Mopes off track. Gets overtaken by a boat. Billy G and Simone. Also, Silver Fox is trying to go down the inside for a very breaking move there. As John Mopes, 2 positions down. Here comes Chris down the inside of Burley. A very late move. Is he going to throw it down the inside? Seems like he had a little bit of wheel touching between the both of them. As Burley has still got the advantage coming into turn 2. He was the car ahead, and it didn't seem like Chris really had his car alongside the Haas driver there, so shouldn't really go for that move coming into turn 2. Ellie still in a safe spot 7. Burley right now. 1 position gained so far. So we're gonna double check the tires the guys are on at the moment. Halvor on those soft tires. Mitrandir, a very unfortunate race he's having so far as he dropped out of the session. And also dropped a lot of positions there. Energy Dan now making the overtake on John Mopes. Are they going side by side? Seems like John Mopes. Oh, he's having a collision with his very own teammate, Cowboy. No safety car yet. As we still have to tackle about 31 laps. So still plenty of time for the guys to cause a safety car. This time around, that's not going to be the case. John Mopes will be frustrated with that. Chris Pro getting overtaken by 2 drivers at the same time. Might have made a mistake. Down the straight they go. Here comes Halvor. Getting overtaken by Ellie. Up into P6 goes the Ferrari driver. Mitrandir now with the fastest lap of 1:13.0. As he's finding himself right behind Halvor and Ellie. 2 very serious drivers to battle with. Ellie especially, because she's a defensive mastermind here around Zandvoort and any other track. We saw that in Miami, of course. Mitrandir doesn't seem to make an overtake anytime soon. Halvor does seem to make an overtake. I mean, he's looking for an overtake anyway. He will have the DRS coming down the straight. Here comes Halvor. He's got to wait a little bit. Not really right behind Ellie. And Ellie is going wide as well coming out of turn 10, which means she's going to have more straight line speed. What are the guys doing at the front of the pack? About 8 tenths for Stieng and Doran about 4 tenths behind. And this is the kind of races where drivers are going to be making the move a lot of times, but it's usually the same move every now and then down the straight, and that's about it. I don't think anyone will make a move here in turn 1 when you're not alongside the car. Every now and then, for example in Belgium, you see drivers just make a dive bomb and it works out, but I don't think there's any corner here in Zandvoort where you can actually make a good dive bomb, except for maybe the Tarzan bocht. No, that's turn 1. The turn 3. Is that Hazenrug bocht or something like that? I don't know. Halvor now on the tail of Ellie. Here she comes. Well, Halvor is obviously not a girl. I don't know why I said she. Here she comes, but it seems like this is going to be a very boring race with drivers being right behind each other, but nobody able to make a move. Mitrandir maybe, and yeah, he's still stuck behind Halvor and Ellie. Maybe with DRS down the straight. And those soft tires are definitely not going to be great at the end of their stint, so he's even going to lose time to prep in the V-car. And that is what you're able to see at the moment. He's losing time more than he gains time on the guys ahead of him. Here comes Halvor. Is he going to throw it down the inside? Seems like it. Beautiful overtake. They're still side by side. And who's going to come out ahead in turn 2? It seems like Ellie is backing off. And Halvor takes P6 here. Ellie now with a very tight line. Halvor with a possible better exit. Yes, indeed. And he's going to gain a couple of tenths there due to that hard line, wide line. And did I see some sparks? Well, sparks, not really. I meant, I don't even know how you say that in English. Like, spats? No, probably not. Rain drops. Drops! That's it. Drops. Am I seeing some raindrops? I don't think so. This is going to be a very, very, very boring race. Nobody is really able to make an overtake, and we're just sticking behind each other. The moves are being made down the straight. Oh! Look at that! Ellie down the inside! And Mitrandir was also looking to go down the inside. Now, this time around, he does so. Side by side into turn one. Ellie is not going to give up. Clinching wheels at the moment. Oh, they're still clinching wheels. Ellie's not going to back out, is she? No, she's not. But Mitrandir was right ahead of her. Into turn three they go. And Mitrandir takes P6. Spitz. Oh, that is... Oh, yeah, Spitz. Okay, so I wasn't too far off, right? I think I said Spats, which sounds like a name for people who cannot talk. Oh no, that's past. No, that's in Dutch. I don't know what that means. Ah, it doesn't matter. Let's go on board here with Doran, currently in P3. As he's just sticking behind Stiank. Nobody really gaining any time, any positions. The guys at the midfield are also losing time on each other. The V-car there. Halvor dropped back to P9, so he's looking to make a move on the V-car anytime soon. As we're heading into lap 10 out of the 36. Let me look up some facts about the Dutch Grand Prix, because I don't think this is gonna be a very interesting race. Door now. This is the problem, right? Like, there's nothing to talk about. Let's go on board with Simo. She's right on the tail of Silver Fox. She dropped 1 or 2 positions so far, being on those medium tires. And the driver ahead of her has got those soft tires enabled, so should be faster. But here goes Simo. Was looking to make a move into turn 7. As she backs out of it. So the Zandvoort circuit, well, it's called the spat is like verbal fight in English. Oh, is it? I didn't know that. I did not know that. That's a good one. Burley now gaining about, well, having a gap of about 1.5 seconds. Oh, here comes Doran down the inside into turn 1. Once again, Stian going a little bit too deep. As I think that's leaving some options for Doran. Oh, nobody is backing out. Nobody is backing out. Here comes Doran into turn 3. And that was a beautiful sportsman-like driving there. Although Doran is possibly going to get overtaken by Wiggles. Touches the curb there. Touches the grass as well. Here comes Doran. Backs out. No, doesn't back out. Into turn 7. They go side by side. Stian is not giving up either. Look at that move from Doran. They've been going side by side through the whole sector 1 and then a little bit of sector 2. Here comes Doran. Now, once again, they're going 3 wide into turn 1. Oh, but every one of them is going a little bit deeper. Imagine if Doran made a switchback on Stian and like Wiggles made a switchback on Doran. No, Doran is looking to make an overtake. Oh, brakes a little too late. Goes into the back of the Mercedes driver, but almost crashes out himself. Chris possibly with a broken front wing. As I think he went into the back of Mr. Wiggles there. DRS wide open for Doran, but he won't be close enough to Stian. And look at how Burley is running away. Here comes Chris, weaving all over the place, trying to find a gap. Here comes Mr. Wiggles, backs out of it again. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, all these guys are on the medium tires. Yes, indeed. The top 5 is on the medium tires. Mitrandir has caught up another couple of positions as he dropped back to P9, currently in P6. But the track was previously known as Circuit Park Zandvoort. They changed that back to Circuit Zandvoort back in 2017. And there's about, I think it's 14 corners here in Zandvoort. The track is about, let me double check. 4.2 kilometers, which is about 2.6 miles for the British people among us. Down the straight they go. Will Chris be able to use that DRS to his advantage? Because obviously we've seen him be pretty fast during the qualifying down the straights, but it doesn't look like he's able to make any positions here down the straight. So he's got to patiently wait for Mr. Wiggles to maybe make a mistake, because right now he's in that DRS train. You don't want to be in the middle of that DRS train. You either want to be... Oh, actually, you do want to be in the middle. You don't want to be at the back or the front, because at the front you don't have the DRS here. You're going to get overtaken. Here comes the V car down the inside. Goes a little bit too deep. Crashes out Ellie there. That was definitely contact between the both of them, as I think the V car either has got to give that position back or will get a penalty or a warning at least. Garrett in the chat is not looking forward to this tomorrow night. I wouldn't be either. This looks like the most boring race to commentate on. There's... Oh, a Mercedes car is off. That will be Chris. No, it won't be Chris. Yeah, it will be Chris. As he drops back a couple of seconds behind Mr. Wiggles. He's getting a chase from behind by Mitrandir, who's... Oh, no! Never mind. I didn't... Oh, man. I'm so bad at commentator curses. Man, at the beginning of my commentary career, I always said I'm never giving anyone commentary curses. And look at me now. It's every week, every day the same. Like, I'm saying nobody has a penalty. Somebody gets a penalty. I'm saying this guy is doing great. He crashes out. Like Mitrandir right now, those soft tires are probably done for already. He has to switch onto the hard tires to finish off the race. Here comes the V-Care. DRS wide open as he makes the overtake on Ellie. Ellie with a possible switchback. Look at that from Ellie. Oh, man. That was really close from Ellie. And these tires are not saying anything, so we're going to delete them again. A couple of position changes here at the back of the grid. Silver Fox around the outside of Simo. As Ferrari is once again putting a very consistent result. Simo still down the inside. Oh, yeah, they're going to crash out. Look at that. Simo. That was... you know what the problem was with that corner? You need to really be alongside each other, but take the same line as well. If somebody is on the inside line and they're going a little bit too deep into that corner, you're always going to collide. And that is what you saw right there with Simo, and I think it was Silver Fox. So the circuit of Zandvoort is located in the dunes north of Zandvoort, which is obviously in the Netherlands. Let's go on board with Mr. Wiggles, as he's probably going to be able to make an overtake. About 35 kilometers from Amsterdam. So if you're ever interested in going to the Zandvoort Grand Prix, make sure to check out Amsterdam as well. I've been there. I didn't like the city, but it's not for everyone, so... The capacity of the track is about 105,000 people. And if you compare that with, for example... the United States, which has had the biggest amount of people on there during their Grand Prix in the whole F1 history. I think it was about, during the whole weekend, it was about 500,000, 550,000. It's absolutely amazing how so many people are... Oh, there goes Mr. Wiggles off track. I think he got caught in the dirty air from the Red Bull driver, as he was definitely going a bit too deep into that corner. The guys are almost all outside the DRS of each other. The Doran is the only one who's going to be able to change the position there. Maybe John Mobes on Mitrandir as well. Maybe Halvor as well, although he's 8 tenths behind. He's possibly going to lose another couple of tenths there in that last sector, which he does indeed do so. If you guys want me to ever predict your future, just let me know. I charge 100 euros per prediction, so Doran, who was looking to make an overtake down the inside, but he knew that Stiang was gonna go deeper, so into turn 2 they had to go alongside of each other if he did go for it. Halvor coming into the pits. Let's see what tire he's going on, as we're seeing a couple of guys coming into the pits. Medium tires for the top 9. As Billy G on the hard tires still hasn't come into the pits. Neither did Energy Dan on that 15 lap old medium tire. compound. And Silver Fox on 15-lap old softs didn't come into the pits either. I think he's going to come into the pits right now to go onto the medium tires. Cowboy did go onto the medium tires. Mitran Deer as well, as he already came into the pit. I didn't know that. Here comes Doran. Not an overtaking opportunity. And what will the medium tire runners be doing? Will they come into the pits already, or will they go and stretch these mediums till about lap 20 maybe, and then go onto the soft tires? There's about 20 more laps to go. Let's see what Doran does. Down the straight he goes. The DRS wide open. It wouldn't have been smart to come into the pits, because otherwise you wouldn't have the opportunity to use that DRS. Perez is coming into the pits. He's going for those hard tires. And that will be a medium hard strategy for the Mercedes driver. Will it pay off? I'm not sure. The Zandvoort Grand Prix was opened, well, the circuit was opened on the 7th of August in 1948. So the circuit has been there for a long time already in the history of racing. Now, there has been a couple of very interesting events here in Zandvoort. One being, of course, the Formula 1. But we're also having the GT World Challenge Europe. We've got the DTM and the GT Masters. So quite a lot of cool, I'm not going to call them Grand Prix, but like races you can watch here on Zandvoort. The race lap record is 1:11.0, so the guys here during the qualifying have actually beat that time. It was set by Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes back in 2021. Doran now at the DRS won't be enough to make an overtake, as it seems like Mr. Wiggles is catching up again. Everyone else outside the 1 second of each other. So I'm going to give you some more interesting facts. Wow, apparently a Belgian driver, Jackie Ickx, had the pole time back between 1948 and 1971. And it was a 1:19.23, so that does indicate on how good these cars evolve over the last couple of years. Like, it's crazy to think that a car can get 5 seconds faster. Maybe 20. I mean, compared to this, it's 20, right? No, it's 10. Yeah, it's 10. Never mind. 20. What am I saying? Nobody within 1 second of each other, but it is my job as a commentator to keep you entertained. Although Helver did catch up to Simo. He's on those fresh medium tires, so that will be a cat for the bird, is what they say here in Belgium. No, it's the other way around. It's a bird for the cat. Obviously, birds don't eat cats. It's cats eating birds. So here comes Halvor. Was looking to make a move around the outside. And I don't know why, but that Kiek Sauber car always looks dirty. It always looks dirty on any Grand Prix, even if you don't go onto the grass. But I guess it looks extra dirty here in Zandvoort because of all the sand that's coming over the track. Here comes Halvor down the straight. He goes. DRS wide open for the Kiek Sauber driver. Simo trying to take a little bit of slipstream, but unfortunately not able to keep the position. And Halvor is going to shoot away. Mitrandir also on those fresh medium tires. Man, has he had a bad well, not a strategy, but just a bad luck, I guess. He dropped all the way from P2 to P14. Lost about 12 positions underway. And, oh, look at that. Doran on the tail of Stiank. I feel like Stiank just has a very good Sector 3. So that he creates a gap to Doran, and then Doran cannot make up that position down the straights. Let's go on board with the V car here as he caught up to his very own teammate. Will both of the Alpine drivers collide? I don't think so. Doran now making the overtake up the inside and makes up a position. And also the V car around the outside. Look at that, Mr. Wiggles. No, Mr. Wiggles with a switchback. Oh, and he gets a 3-second time penalty. Prep now with a 10-second time penalty. It's getting interesting. It's getting spicy here in Zandvoort. And I'm already wondering who's going to come into the pits first, because this can be very crucial with the undercut. The undercut is basically when drivers come into the pits earlier, so they have fresher tires when they come, well, fresher tires faster. So they can do one fresher lap compared to the guys coming to the pits one lap later who've done their last lap on those hard, well, old tires. Prep has got a little bit of a DRS train behind him, although Simo is losing the toe. Mitrandir already got past the Ferrari driver. Here comes the V-car. He's gonna have the DRS. I think both Alpine drivers need to talk with each other on who is gonna come into the pits first, because if it's Mr. Wiggles, obviously the V-car will not come into the pits. Burley coming into the pits. Dorn also coming into the pits. So does Stienk. And the V-car is going to go for one more lap. Here comes the V-car. Will he gain time or will he lose time with that one extra lap? I don't think he's getting any pressure from behind anyway. Ellie is the closest one with about 4.5 seconds as she stays out as well. Where is Burley and Dorn going to end up in? Oh, and this is a very good strategy. Oh no, Burley is ahead of Billy G. I was going to say this is a very good strategy because now Billy G can hold up Burley. And I think that was also the plan there. Mitrandir now with the fastest lap of 112.9. Energy Dan still hasn't come into the pits on those old medium tires. He wants to get involved into the battles at the front of the pack. Mitrandir at the moment trying to keep P13 for himself. Maybe even bump up a couple of positions. Only 2-3 penalties here in Zandvoort, which is a very... I'm not going to say unlikely because there's not many track limits you can take to gain a lot of time, but sometimes every now and then drivers go a little bit deeper into a corner, go a little bit cutting the corner like we saw Ellie do during the qualifying, and that can result in a track warning penalty. Chris Pro seems to have made the overtake on Energy Dan. He's going to give that position for free. Here comes Tiang. Energy Dan is going to let him go through. Beautiful sportsmanship. A sportsman-like driving from the Aston Martin driver. Oh, and Ellie catches a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And I'm still unsure why drivers are not necessarily practicing coming into the pits. Because those 10 seconds are, man, they are bad. A 112.0 for Prep right now as he's putting the fastest lap on the board. Stiank finds himself right behind Chris, a big pro. As Chris obviously didn't come into the pits yet, but he's on those fresh, hard tires. Oh, and now there is a safety car. No, there is a virtual safety car with still 14 more laps to go. Who hasn't come into the pits yet? Billy G. Look at that. Billy G hasn't come into the pits yet, but I think the virtual safety car will come in again before Billy G has the chance to come into the pits. Cowboy does take the chance to come into the pits. It seems like one time, sometime, well, oh man, I have to stop using the word sometimes. Every now and then you see the track spreading out like crazy, and then all of a sudden it's back very close to each other. Look at this. Stiank on the tail of Big Pro. We've got Mr. Wiggles on the tail of Stiank. Billy G is coming into the pits. He does indeed take the chance of going into the pits under virtual safety car, which is going to gain him about 2 or 3 seconds. As he might be ahead of Ellie, who got that 10-second time penalty. Mitrandir and Halvor are going to take those mediums till the end of the race. So Billy G, he's going to come out in P11. Right behind Alex Hawk. But he's got the fresher tires, so he might be able to make that overtake later on the Red Bull Visa Keshev driver. Halvor also in P8. As he's about 6 tenths behind Mitrandir. John Mopes coming into the pits, so does Prep. As I'm unsure why Prep came into the pits, possibly because he had a broken front wing. That could have been it. Let's go on board with Stank here. Oh, almost goes into the back of his very own teammate. And I think this is causing some frustrations for Stank as well, because he's on the fresher tire, he's on the better tire, he's on the faster tire, but he's stuck behind his very own teammate. There is wide open right now for Stank. Will that be an overtaking opportunity? Seems like it. Tries to go around the outside. Oh, something is happening in the Mercedes camp. Stank now getting past his teammate. Chris trying to fight his way around Stank again. But I think he got to keep his focus on Mr. Wiggles and keeping him behind him. Because Mr. Wiggles is definitely a threat towards Stank so far. One-tenth of a gain on Mr. Wiggles' very own fastest lap. And I think all of the guys here on the grid are going to be happy when this Grand Prix is done with, because we're all just cruising around as Mr. Wiggles was looking to make a move down the inside, backed out of it again. And it seems like there is about a 2-second gap to Stank already, which is a great maneuver by Chris, trying to keep Mr. Wiggles behind him. Deer is wide open right now for Mr. Wiggles. Almost went into the wall there. Mr. Wiggles now down the inside, goes back onto the racing line, and he will have the advantage again of the soft tire, so he won't get attacked from Chris. Alex Hawk has left Billy G behind him with a 3-second gap on the Red Bull driver. We're still sticking to the tail of Mr. Wiggles here. He's gaining on his time as well, as it doesn't look like he can gain any more time on Mr. Wiggles. Mr. Wiggles has shoot off in the horizon. About a 7-10, 8-10 gap right now between Chris and... Oh, wait, I'm out of the lobby? Okay. Great. Well, did everyone leave, or is it just me? It's probably just me. Great. Okay. Let me check the Discord.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Seems like I was the only one indeed, so yeah. No idea why that happens. My connection is very stable, so I guess it's a server issue. I don't know. Steve wasn't able to join either. Yeah, nothing is being said, so it's definitely my fault. Now I'm just gonna double check whether I can still join off Wiggles' invite. It seems like I can. There we go. Nine more laps to go. Let's put everything here again. No, we don't need this. We need this. Let us have a look with the positions. Doran's still in P2. Chris got dropped back to P6. He got overtaken by Mr. Wiggles and the V-car. And apart from that, I don't see any big position changes. Billy G still behind Alex Hawk and Ellie. Stank did catch up to Doran right now, so that will be a very feisty battle till the end of the race. Let's have a status report on the tires. Chris on 10 lap old hards. The top 5 is on fresh soft tires. Mitrandir and Halvor are on old medium tires. They're gonna have a battle with each other for the rest of the race. Alex Hawk caught up to Ellie. Here he comes. As I don't think anyone will make an overtake. Oh, maybe Stank here into turn 1. Oh, those fresh softs are definitely allowing him to make a deep dive bomb there in turn 1, as he can brake really late. But so does Doran, obviously. Both drivers on fresh soft tires, 7-lap-old softs. Not as fresh as I would have thought. Ellie going side by side with Alex Hawk, and Alex Hawk is the smarter one out of the two. Doesn't go for a move. And I think that is definitely the way to go there in turn 2. A very risky corner to make an overtake. 8 more laps to go, as we're currently waiting for, Dorn to make that overtake again on Stienk. And both the Alpine drivers are once again right behind each other, so that pit stop, well, coming into the pits 1 lap earlier or 1 lap later didn't really make a change. Didn't really change anything, as the V car once again right behind Mr. Wiggles, as he's on the fresher tire, came into the pits later. The area is wide open right now for the V car. Down the straight he goes. Won't be able to make an overtake, as I don't think he will either. Both drivers need to work together to get back to Dorn and Stienk as soon as possible, with about 8 more laps on the board. Alex Hall got past Ellie, as also Mitrandir and Helver going side by side. Mitrandir crashing out once again, and he isn't caught up on the curb right now, which is great news. Then also making that overtake on Mitrandir will come back into the pits. Dorn now with the overtake on Stienk. I think Stienk had a little snap there. And now he drops out of the 1 second off Dorn. Won't have the DRS, will he? Oh, I think he will actually. Just barely within that 1 second. Didn't really gain him much time either, as he went from 1 second to 1 second. But now is the opportunity for, I think he's also Norwegian, but I could be wrong. Isn't everyone who has OWR in their name Norwegian? I think it's a Norwegian esports team, isn't it? I've actually never seen anyone with OWR compete in an esports event. Can anyone from OWR, if there is any watchers from OWR, can you explain to me what OWR actually does, or like what it is? Because obviously, it's probably an esports team. That's why some things say SFR, for example. They don't have an esports team. They're just proud of their team. But in the actual, not in the actual F1, but like F1 esports, you've got AMS, you've got, let me think, TMM. What other esports teams do you have? I don't know if it's actually the same here with OWR. Stienk now heading into Sector 3 for another opportunity. The V-car getting past Wiggles. Both drivers acknowledging that the V-car is on the faster tire compound at the moment. Billy G getting past Ellie. Ellie dropping in a couple of positions. Not sure what's happening with Ellie. The concentration must drop off so far. Alex Hawk on the tail of Halvor. I think this will be a good overtaking opportunity for the Red Bull Visa Ketchup driver. Down the straight he goes, and the Ferrari car is off. That will be Simo. Won't lose a position. Here comes Alex Hawk up into P7. Goes the Visa Ketchup Red Bull driver. Let's go on board with Mr. Wiggles. Will he make an overtake? I think the task for Mr. Wiggles is to keep Chris Big Pro behind him for as long as possible, because he's really gaining time at the moment. We're currently in lap 31 out of the 36. About 5 more laps to go. And we are still unsure who's going to be P2 and P3. It's either one of these two. Or, if the V-car is going to gain a crazy amount of time, as it seems like it's lagging all over the place. That is not my... Is that because of me? No, Stienk was just lagging all over the place, wasn't he? That might have been why he lost a lot of time earlier. No, is this my game, or is this just EA servers? Is Doran lagging all over the place? No, he's not lagging all over the place, so it's definitely Stienk who's lagging. Oh yeah, look at where Stienk goes. Jesus. He's glitching all over the place. Going into turn 3 goes Mr. Wiggles. Oh, Oh, yeah, Stank is lagging. Okay, I thought it was me. Because I dropped out earlier, right? So I thought it was my fault. By the way, guys, apologies if this live stream is as boring as it is, but man, this is the most boring race I've ever seen. 36 laps around Zandvoort should be banned. It's just, man, this is horrible. And I'm always having to repeat the same things simply because there's nothing else happening, you know? I'm quite surprised that Alex Hawk is able to keep up, well, keep Halvor behind him after being on 10 laps on those soft tires. They last about 16 laps. The mediums last for about 20 laps, so I'd say they're about, 3-second time penalty for Halvor. Plus server ain't great with being set up for crossplay. You know what the problem is? I've never had issues with crossplay before. I feel like it's only here. It's only here that I'm having issues. It doesn't matter that much. Here comes Tank, still on the tail of Doran. As we're still chilling, everyone behind each other. Oh, it seems like, oh yeah, Stank lagging again. I gotta pee really bad as well. Oh man. I'm seeing a Red Bull car, a Mercedes being very close to the Red Bull. I don't know where that is actually. Okay, so it's oh yeah, it's Dorn and Stank. I'm an idiot. The Ferrari car went off again. Is that Simo? No, it doesn't seem like it. Ellie drops a couple of seconds behind Energy Dan as she went off track there. Possibly went onto the curb as that curb in turn 8 is definitely not to joke around with, but oh, Alex Hawk clipped the wall there on the exit of turn 14. Has a broken front wing. There's no point in coming back into the pits. We'll probably lose about 2 or 3 positions there thanks to that little crash. So put too much pressure on his shoulders and he went into the wall. And Doran will have to work around this little lag that Stank is having at the moment. Oh yeah, look at that. That's really bad. That is really bad. I'm gonna be honest with something, right? I like Steve a lot as a commentator. Steve, if you're watching, you're a great commentator, dude. And I really like the atmosphere. But maybe, because this is a PlayStation only league, I'd say maybe make this PlayStation only. Because obviously I dropped out. You got Stank who's lagging all over the place, which is obviously not great. A couple of guys were lagging earlier as well. I think we need to find a solution on how to avoid this, because obviously Steve wasn't able to join either, so... Oh, look at that. This must be horrible for Doran. Every time he thinks he's gonna make the overtake, Stank just bumps up a couple of tenths up. It's just crazy out here at the moment. At the back of the pack, we're seeing a battle between Simo and Preb as well. So you might want to go on board with those two for half a lap maybe. Somebody crashed out. Is that Mr. Wiggles? Seems like it. It does seem like it. Chris Big Pro is now going to have a chance of making the overtake on the Alpine driver. And it seems like he's also having better tires here heading into the last lap of the race. Doran will he be able to make an overtake? Doesn't look like it. DRS wide open for the Red Bull driver, but he's too far behind. With Stank even gaining time down the straight. Oh yeah, but he has a DRS as well on the McLaren driver. As we're heading into the last lap of the Zandvoort Grand Prix, Preb has made the overtake on Simo into turn 7. Alex Hawk is also battling for P7 at the moment. Down the inside he goes off Halvor, makes up a position. Alex Hawk up into P7. Did Mr. Wiggles... Oh, Energy Dan retired from the session. That is in the pit lane. Yes, indeed. You might want to go on board with Burley here earlier, well, later this lap, because obviously he's going to come across the line. 36 out of the 36 laps. This has been horror for almost everyone on track, for me as a commentator. Here we go. The guys at the back of the pack are having a heated battle as well. Simo and Prep. We are going to go on board with Burley, the race winner here in Zandvoort. Speed Force Racing League Season 16, Round 9 Grand Prix winner. As Stank and Dorn. It was very close between the both of them, about a tenth. Then King Big Pro here. DRS Slipstream. Oh, and that's also a very close finish, but he gets the position anyway due to that 3-second time penalty of Wiggles. And now here, 3 drivers battling for P7. Alex Hawk seems to be running away with that position. Then Billy G is going to bump up a position because Halvor has got a penalty. Mitrandir will take P10 because Elias got a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And then that will be the Zandvoort Grand Prix. Billy G about 6/10 behind Alex Hawk, and also Dorn with a very close finish there. There was only 88 thousandths between Mr. Wiggles and Chris Big Pro when coming across the line. So even if... no, actually, that's not true. If Mr. Wiggles can get his 3-second time penalty removed, he is still able to get that P5, but I'm not sure if he's actually going to. I don't know if it's even allowed in SFR. In some leagues it is, in some leagues it isn't. And that will be the Zandvoort Grand Prix. Probably the most boring race I've ever commentated on, simply because, I don't know, it's just, I wasn't feeling well either today. So, driver of the day is the V-Car. The V-Care is what I should say. I don't even know. It says car. It doesn't say care, right? I mean, the V-Care, if... Yeah. It doesn't matter. You explained it once to me why it's actually the V-Care, but I couldn't bother remembering it. Alright, here we've got the results. Burley in P1, Stank in P2, and Dorn in P3. Fastest lap goes to Burley as well with a 111.9. And then the rest of the grid will be the V-Car, Chris, Mr. Wiggles, Alex Hawk, Billy G, Halvor, and Mitrandir in the top 10. Then we've got Ellie, Silver Fox, Simo, Prep, John, Cowboy, and Energy Dan at the back of the pack. Both drivers, well, are allowed to get points because they did more than 90% of the race. But apart from that, I'm going to wish you a very good evening here in Speed Force Racing. If you haven't followed the channel yet, make sure to do so. My name is Sweepy Thomas as your commentator, and all I can say is thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in 3 weeks as I'm going on vacation next week and the week after. And then I'm coming back on Monday the 16th. I'm not sure if I'm going to be commentating with the jet lag that I'm having. But it actually should be, because then it would be... Well, wait, let me guess. It would be not 8:30 here, so it would be 1:30 there. I should be there. But guys, I'm going to keep you updated on when I'm coming back. And all I can say for now is thank you very much and peace out.